Good afternoon, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to get tickled to talk the pro wrestling news of the day. It's EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
What's happening, Nick? Happy Tuesday. Good to see you.
By the way, whatever you just did, I'm hearing a little bit of echo now when you went and changed your gimmick. Yeah, I started to hear it's fine. It's not major, but you we did the tech check. And then you immediately snap something. Now it's gone. It's gone.
It's gone?
Yeah, now it's gone.
Haha,
Yeah.
It was a phantom.
Yeah,
I just won't move my head.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not funny to me that we did this whole tech check thing, and then as soon as we went live on the show, you touched something. That certainly doesn't make me tickled, as our Tuesday tradition.
I was turning the volume up, Nick. I wanted to hear you better.
Oh, got it. All right, well, wonderful. Hey, we'll turn the volume up, everybody. We got a great show here today. We got some really cool news from the past 24 hours to talk about. Of course, Monday Night Raw was last night. Later on in the show, I meant to drop it yesterday because it's only like a little 10-minute interview, but we had some tech issues. So today you're going to get it. It's from On the Scene at MLW War Chamber this past weekend. Our own Ethan Kramer got a couple minutes with Jacob Fatu. So a little Jacob Fatu is going to get sprinkled into our little food item, dinner, platter, steak dish. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a cilantro to your tacos.
Thank you. This is why EJ is second to the ETC because of this little.
Because I know food.
Yeah, dude. Hey, people relate to food. I got a whole lecture about it the other day from Brian Wool. Yeah, talk about everybody. There's those mukbangs. They do so well because you're like, I know what tacos taste like. Oh, I can imagine myself eating that taco. So I should do more taco coverage,
Exactly. And it's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday. Hey, that's a great idea. You know what? Next Tuesday, there will be tacos with me, and I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat some tacos on the air. I think that's a really good idea.
Just don't get crunchy tacos. Get real.
Hey, Dave in saying, hey, one time you did eat that CM Punk ice cream bar on the air, and I think we all remember how fun that was, right?
It was half melted, half frozen again.
Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. But yeah, I pulled Dave in up on the screen. You could join us like Sherrod Jones here. What's up, everyone? Going to my first WWE show this Friday night, SmackDown in Norfolk, Virginia. Sherrod, have some fun, man. I hope
have
you're going
fun.
With yeah. Friends, family, what?
I was going to say, make sure you flex when the camera comes around. You have to.
Oh, that's right. EJ prop me into that one. I almost said proposition, but I don't think that's the right word I'm looking for right there. He
coerced?
Coerced? Sure. Coerced me. Got me up on the Titantron. So do that. Wear the Wrestling Inc. Daily shirt that right now EJ's got on. That's the old logo. So anyway. Also at the end of the show, we're going to dive in the mailbag. We're going to look at everybody's favorite topic, the WWE 24/7 Championship. So that last little Raw note there, EJ, we're going to save that last little Raw note for the mailbag. So the run sheet will end before that. I did the run sheet wrong today. My bad.
It's okay. I'll forgive you this time.
Okay. So let's get into it. Hey, EJ, I'm trying. I'm doing my best to put together and I'm threatened, and he's got boxing gloves over his shoulder. Ducking and weaving. I don't know, showing off his skills. Jake Paul over here. All right, here we go. News you can use. News you can use. News that will leave a bruise. This is not bruising news. This is hot off the wire, EJ. We finally know what Bray Wyatt's going to be doing next. It's a movie. Coliseum Studios owner, special makeup effects artist Jason Baker exclusively told Metro.co UK. He's a phenomenal collaborator. He's become a really good friend. And we're actually, you're the first person that we're publicly telling about. We're starting a film at the end of the month. Now, Baker, who released horror short Welcome to the Red Room last week, grew close with Bray, real name Wyndham Rotunda, through his work with WWE, which started with him designing Triple H's crown for WrestleMania 30 and eventually led to the Firefly Funhouse. What a cool story arc, right?
Right. That's probably one of my favorite entrances, too, for WrestleMania, so that's pretty sick.
So he revealed the upcoming film, which is yet to be officially announced with the title and plot details being kept under wraps, is set to start filming by the end of the month. He said 2 weeks ago, We're filming it, or 2 weeks to go. We're filming in Tennessee. It's a feature film, and it's something really new and different. I'd say probably the best way to describe it is Ichi the Killer meets Xanadu. And in regards to if The Fiend is going to be a part of this movie, he says we're not using any of that. We're going in a completely different direction, a whole new thing. It should be fun. Hopefully fans of horror and fans of Wyndham like it. What do you think about this latest Wyndham Rotunda news?
At first, I was going to say maybe it's going to be something in the mountains because it's Tennessee. I love Tennessee, so maybe it would be a bit more of like a Southern-esque horror, gothic horror, but not so much The Fiend because I'm assuming WWE owns that concept. So that's what I'm hoping. Maybe something Appalachian, maybe up in the hills.
Yeah,
some mountain folk.
I know Bray Wyatt was Creole, right? Like that was the intent. Is he was like Louisiana, but like kind of has that same kind of like a mountain-esque Creole.
Yeah,
not not.
Yeah, if you switch out the seasoning blend, you'll probably have a little something. Put some barbecue sauce on it. Make it Tennessee.
I could see Bray out in the woods, moonshining, murdering.
But it's also the Xanadu reference that's really getting me from like, like, isn't that like a musical?
I see. That's what I thought. I thought you were going to tell me what I think Xanadu's a musical. That's what confused me. Right.
So now I'm like, oh, maybe it's something out there and just far from. Maybe he's right. Maybe it's far from whatever we're thinking.
It's he did such a good job at creating that Bray Wyatt Fiend character in WWE and finding little chapters. It is really reminiscent of, what a Freddy or a Jason or a Michael Myers. Like, I really hope, and it's not going to be Bray Wyatt for all the obvious reasons, but I do hope that he does find maybe a character where he can get to, really tell that story over several movies. I don't know if that's what he wants to do or if he wants to play a bunch of different characters, but my gut says he's going to find like one character and kind of thread it through a couple films. That seems to be what he's really good at least right now,
That'll be really dope. And it lets him use that creativity that he has. Like, if this is what he does, that's great. He's a big, 200, 300-pound guy with tattoos and dreads. Yeah, let him go do some horror films.
Yeah, he definitely has the look for it. And I'm interested to see, because, he was never like a big yelly wrestler, right? Mm-hmm. He wasn't getting those John Cena promos, give me what I want, Batista, right? The loud talk in The Rock. Very soft-spoken guy, even a character that I thought it was really interesting with The Fiend, like, didn't speak, right? No. Like, there aren't a whole lot, like, you could go back to maybe The Undertaker and Kane, but eventually they broke. He was telling a story with just kind of movements and little things, and I'm really, really fascinated to see how that, from a creative and from, like, an acting standpoint, comes together in a film,
Yeah, he used such poetic language when he was Bray Wyatt, cult leader. And even the Yowie Zowie guy, I loved him. I love the sweater Bray Wyatt, like doing like little bits in comedy. Like he's that versatile. And I think this is going to let us see like even more to Bray. And pardon me, Barry Windham.
Sure. We'll see.
Not Mike. Wyndham. I'm going to call him Wyndham. I'm mixing all my Wyndhams.
Why even come up with a new wrestling name when your name is Wyndham Rotunda? Isn't that just a wrestling name,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's when you're Braun Breaker. You got to change it up a little bit.
All right. Well, Supersonic X, you're saying, I guess that explains why Wyndham is in the Warner movie lot. Yeah, so that shot you're referring to was with him and Jason Baker, which is the story we've just been talking about. And we also have here Justin Cruz saying, I hope Bray Wyatt debuts at Full Gear. And I think the best thing about this, and like movies are very time consuming, right? And they do require a lot of your effort, but I don't think it takes off the table he could do both, right? I mean, maybe not right now in this moment, or maybe it is. I'm not really sure, but him doing films does not inherently take off the table for me. In fact, I kind of see Tony Khan being like, yeah, what would that be like to watch a wrestler take off in Hollywood at the same time they're joining and kind of taking off in a wrestling company? Usually it's you get famous and you leave. What happens when somebody's on the rise like that and like wants to kind of tell parallel stories if they can do it. I think that's still very much an option for Bray or Wyndham in this situation.
Oh yeah, and then you're gonna have the commercials going on in between the shows, during the wrestling shows, and during the day. It's TNT. Everybody watches TNT. You can just watch any movie that you want. So I think that'd be pretty sick. And I think he'd be a special attraction if he is still doing the mythical character. He could be a special attraction where he doesn't need to be there every week.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. And he just, again, it'll come down to, we don't know exactly everything going on with him right now, relationships and otherwise. So we'll see. But I definitely don't take it off the table. Well, somebody else we know that is definitively no longer with WWE, Keith Lee, decided to break his silence. He released the following statements on social media yesterday. He said, "Greetings and salutations." And pause real quick. What a polite man. Who says that, EJ? Who starts like that?
It's like he's your neighbor always, like, greetings and salutations.
It reads to me like some Game of Thrones stuff. Like it's like 600 years ago. That's how you started to scroll,
Greetings and salutations for all of you involved.
This nice nerdy man, and Vince looks him in the face, slaps him, and it's like, you got to be hard. I need you angry. I need the bear cat, So dumb.
All right. And then lets you go. Goodness.
Okay. All right, so back to the gimmick here.
Sorry.
Back to the thing. Greetings and salutations. This day. Sorry,
it was the finger wave.
I feel like I'm King Xavier Woods over here. All right. Greetings and salutations. This day is my birthday. It is not a happy birthday, but it is one I am most grateful for. Several months ago, it was not a guarantee I would make it to this day, so there is positivity in that. I paid all my medical bills from my many offices and machines I frequented. There is positivity in that. And I do find it amusing that people believe anyone but me paid for my medical expenses. I was going to wait a couple weeks, but I think it's time to look toward the future. Forward march, as I like to say. I am capable of so much more, and I can't wait to see what it looks like properly. I have a wide array of interests and abilities. I also consider myself to be rather open-minded. Here's to the future that, for all intents and purposes, seems limitless. And, of course, Keith Lee, he is under a 90-day non-compete. That'll be coming up. He'll be a free agent on my birthday, February 2nd, 2022, as we count down the days. My birthday present to everybody, your creative freedom. So
that's an angel number 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All those twos.
It is. It is a pretty weird one, isn't it? Yeah, I know. So I think the big takeaway here is obviously the drop about how he paid all his own medical expenses.
Yeah.
And typically what happens in WWE is if you get injured in the ring or while participating, those bills will be taken care of. If you get injured out of the ring or something else comes along, then you are responsible for your own medical bills. What is messed up, I don't know about messed up, but where this gets confusing and convoluted is, by his own admission in previous interviews, he has said WWE Medical identified the heart issue he was dealing with. So WWE Medical pulls him, says, go get this fixed. He loses TV time. He loses out on merch stuff, all the downside, or all of the, downsides, or not downsides, but all the extra stuff beyond his downside guarantee. And at the same time is having to pay his own bills, working to come back. And we all saw what it looked like on the other side of that. It can feel callous. And realistically, it probably kind of is when you're working for $1 billion company for them to not be taking your expenses when you don't have medical insurance. But we're both independent contractors, EJ. I mean, you go have a heart attack outside Second City, I'm pretty sure maybe even if you had it on that stage, I don't know that they're covering your I don't know, but you're SAG-AFTRA.
I said they would. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say you're SAG-AFTRA, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, equity, baby. I just got insurance last week. I'm about to start a fist fight.
I was about to say that the situation's changed recently for you. But before that, it was a different situation. Yeah. By the way, congratulations. That's good deal for you.
Nah,
Man.
thanks, man. We're gonna go start a fight somewhere. Come on, let's go fight people.
Totally. Yeah, let's go fight under a bridge. I'm all about it. It feels very weird and icky and wrong. I mean, these people have billions of dollars. This guy's on your payroll working to come back. And, when you think about how much money a lot of wrestlers are making a lot of time and how, sometimes not that much, some of these NXT contracts, lower tier AEW deals, not a whole ton. I mean, maybe high five figures, but that's before taxes and road expenses, life expenses. If you want to have your own health insurance because every day you're going down there and falling on your head and your back and your neck, it is a really much harder grind, I think, than a lot of people would anticipate.
Yeah, I would have liked to think that they would have helped out in that situation. I think they should have, considering all the bad press they've gotten. Anytime something happens to somebody that's heart related and a wrestler passes away, it always looks at WWE and they're like, yo, what's up with you? And they're like, we reached out and tried to pay for these things. And it's like, come on, man, just do the good while you're there. You're using people's bodies.
Yeah, and I want to
pay for their things.
I want to know. I want to hear more from Keith. Like, this is very much like you walked up to the stand and then you walked away and all the reporters are like, but we have questions. No, we don't get to ask questions. Like, you're just going to leave this kind of statement out there that creates this whole fervor around the situation. Now we're discussing it, or is WWE evil? Like, what, he definitely put it out there. Like, he wanted this to be happening right now, EJ.
Yeah. Seems like they need a union.
Yeah. So, Dio Fan 80, independent contractors with no health coverage, but somehow they want a share of Twitch or Cameo revenue. When you're losing money, when you're a money loser on things like your health, we want nothing to do with you. But when you're a money maker, you're doing something that brings in money outside of the ring. Yeah, we got to have a conversation then,
Yeah. Come on.
I got to get Lucas Middlebrook back on here. He's the labor lawyer that we were put in touch with when we were doing the work covering Andrew Yang's many comments about pro wrestling. I'm sure we all remember that vividly. But I do believe there was a change at the NLRB, which is the National Labor Review Board. You go back, I did a lot of work on this. Basically, the old NLRB, when like the UFC contractors tried to go in and become unionized, was run by Trump people that were kind of in with Dana White, and they got that killed in a way that was sketch as all hell. But now I believe that the Biden administration's flipped that, and it's a much more employee-friendly National Labor Review Board, which is the board you have to go to get approval to form a union and go about the voting process and all that. So I do wonder how different it would be if the WWE talent tried to do it now, because I mean, it is getting on like the fact that there is literally no job security. I mean, you look at how quickly people's lives are getting spun right now, moving, uprooting their lives, spending all this money, all this stuff we just talked about. I don't know where that breaking point comes, EJ, but I feel like we got to be pretty damn close to it at this point.
You would think that. I would hope so. I mean, we saw it with the Twitch stuff, when Zelina was straight up tweeted about a union, and then they were like, "Hey, let's talk a little bit." Now we talk.
And they tucked a couple $1,000s in her purse.
That's the problem. That shows they have the money.
Right. When problems come along, when it's their problem, they have the money. When it's your problem, they don't. That's the problem.
It's like, you want pyro, right? Well.
So we also have here Supersonic X chiming back in. Keith Lee, very positive guy. He didn't say nothing bad about WWE, but it does feel like he dangled something out there that feels like he's saying WWE may have done wrong. But again, if that's not his intent, I want some clarity, because he definitely dropped some chum in the water and all the sharks got all crazy over this comment.
But yeah, that's the thing. You got to be smart about it. He doesn't outright be like, WWE was terrible. He's like, it's my birthday. I pay for my own things. Boom, boom, boom. Keith Lee, this is what I do. And take that for whatever you want. Yeah.
Well, let's real quickly dive into Monday Night Raw, EJ. There wasn't a whole ton to write home about. By the way, we got the viewership numbers in. One point, I think we got them up on the site. What I do know is the third hour of the show, 1.348, I think, is the number million. Lowest third-hour viewership in the history of Monday Night Raw. Third lowest overall viewership in the history of Monday Night Raw was last night. And, I have I have the privilege of getting to wake up early and jump on the site, and I watch Monday Night Raw early in the day to kind of get my day moving. And I have it on in the background as I'm going through the news. And I kind of already know what's going to happen because I'm reading the news as I'm watching it, which is fine. But usually, like, I pick up my head when I'm writing. I'm like, oh, ooh, right? And that didn't really happen a whole lot watching Raw this morning, EJ. The big thing happened at the very end. Kevin Owens, he turned heel on Big E after losing to Seth Rollins, the main event. We're also going to get Big E and Roman Reigns. That's set for Survivor Series. How'd you feel about the KO heel turn at the end of the show?
I saw it coming the whole show. They did the thing that they're starting to do a bit more now with Raw, where they just have a through line running through the show. So once I saw Kevin Owens was trying to get everybody to be like, hey, I'm a good person, right? I was like, uh-oh. He's off to the dark side. The best part was when he was trying to get Rey Mysterio. Rey was like, hey, man, yeah, I'm going to talk to you later, dude. I gotta go do this thing. Oh, man, that was so funny. So they teased it up so much to a point where it had to come. They had to do it. And I'm glad they're doing it.
I think it came across really well. Kevin Owens certainly needs something right now. It's funny because when the show started and I saw him going back and forth with Rollins, I was like, you know what? Okay, these are veterans. If we're going to go with, Owens and Rollins here for a little while, I'm not like stoked on it, but they're in some ways they're kind of like, I don't know about The Rock and Steve Austin, but they're kind, of this modern day kind of, they're maybe like maybe Steve Austin and like Bret Hart. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. They're definitely a rival series. They WrestleMania, Kevin's first Universal title win.
Yeah. Like
all that jazz. Yeah.
There's and I was like, all right. But like now is him and like Rollins, are they gonna like be friends? Right? Like, I don't really know what that dynamic is gonna look like.
Yeah.
The only thing I was really thinking watching this was Kevin Owens and the Bucks and Adam Cole's recent shenanigans about Mount Rushmore and how we know Kevin Owens' deal, I think, comes up in a couple months or 3 months. That's what he said on Monday Night Raw last week to get everybody going. This felt to me like, if we know this guy's leaving, we want to use him in a way where we can get somebody on our roster over as he's leaving. Mm-hmm. And I think, so like if the trajectory is 3 months, so that puts us at Rumble, right? Survivor Series, I would maybe think Owens costs Big E the match with Roman Reigns, maybe gets involved in that with some shenanigans or something to set up maybe a Rumble blow-off where that's it, and KO then maybe puts his career on the line against Big E or something like that. That would be your 3-month story arc there.
But Seth still has the contract to face Big E post Survivor Series.
You could do it on TV, or you could. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe he joins it. Maybe it's a triple threat match. Yeah. I don't really know, but this to me felt like the beginning of the end of KO for this run in WWE. And maybe I'm really far off on the tea leaf reading here, but he called out last week. I got 3 months. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I won't. This week he's turning heel. He's going to be giving Big E the rub. He's not in the Survivor Series main event picture. You do have Rollins in the wings here, and you're going to have these guys, rolling into the Rumble kind of as a pack. And I think that KO is going to be doing some JOBs during that period. Probably one there.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the next night on Raw. Big E puts him in a dumpster. I'm not really sure.
Oh no, not the dumpster. Well, here's the thing. And there's also, it could be great. This heel turn might be huge, and he might be super over. And it's like, dude, you gotta stay. You're the hottest thing right now.
And we know that. MCAS here pointed out there is the New Year's Day pay-per-view between Survivor Series and the Rumble. So you could do Rollins. You could do Rollins on that one, or you could do KO with that one, or the triple threat, and that's where you have him lose. You spiral off into Rollins versus Big E for Rumble. I just think those three. I think that's the little trio we're going to see rolling in here to the big pay-per-view season.
Yeah, they're going to be good enemies for Big E to keep us rolling to the Rumble Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Agrid.
And Justin Cruz calling out the obvious. Seth and Becky have exotic fashion. Yeah, wow, what a look Becky was rocking on Monday night, man.
Becky looks like $1 billion, man. She looks like she should be on the cover of every magazine every time she comes out. I love it.
I love Niguela. You know, one, my family didn't watch yesterday after Bianca lost to Becky last week. Not me, but 4 other members of my family didn't watch with me because of that. First of all, wow, your whole family's good for y'all. That's a tight family. That's a wrestling family. That's really but that's a real thing. And we were just talking about viewership being down, and like the fatigue is setting in with WWE fans, and it's art by capitalism. Until Vince sees he's not making money, he's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be we got a frustrating 18 months ahead of us. I have a feeling, real frustrating.
It's going to be tough for them, but I mean, that's what's going to happen, and that's what it will take. Less people watching. I know people that love wrestling that I talk to, and they're like, yeah, I don't watch it anymore. I watch AEW, not just specifically. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, lastly here, before we get to the mailbag, and briefly, Jacob Fatu. Bobby Lashley defeated Dominic. He was, by the way, back on Raw after losing to Goldberg for the first time. MVP was by his side. He beats Dominic. He's going to be on the Survivor Series team. He joins Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, Owens, and Seth Rollins. You're psyched about this. You loved him. I'm sure.
I forgot about Lashley for 2 seconds. When his music hit, I started laughing because I was like, oh, he's going to wreck Dominic. He has to. And boy, did he. Mollywop, drug him around. He kicked his dad in the chest, threw him around, carried him around by one hand. Oh, man, I loved it. I feel bad how much I loved it, but I really loved it.
All right, EJ, I want to thank you for joining me at Top Show, talk all of the news of the day. Very busy 24 hours. Again, the viewership numbers are up right now on the site. There's also some more news about Up, Up, Down, Down over on the site if you want to go check that out as well that we didn't have time to get to here today. Just always big stuff popping over at WrestlingInc.com. And, of course, thank you to Ethan Kramer for going out to MLW, getting that interview with Jacob Fatu. All right, let's dive into the mailbag. Today's question, like all poll questions, all mailbag questions, comes to you from @Wink, WINC Daily over on Twitter. Today's poll question is based off of last night's Raw, where within a 2-minute period, Reggie held the title, then Drake Maverick held the title, then Corey Graves held the title, then Byron Saxton won the title. Wait, I think did Tozawa win it for Bryant? No, it was Tozawa won it from Drake, and then Corey pinned Tozawa, then to Byron, and then maybe back to Drake, back to
Reggie after Drake.
Back to Reggie. Okay, I think good thing I wrote this all down. What a mess. Did you first of all, before we get to the question, did you enjoy the 24/7 fracas last night?
You know what? I did. I'm not gonna lie. It surprised me. It tickled me.
Dude, it's good. Reggie's like good for this division, man.
Reggie's great. When Corey went for the pin, I kind of like chuckled. And then when Byron came in to pick Corey, when I saw Byron behind Corey, I was like, get him. I don't know why I was going crazy for Byron Saxton to pin Corey Graves. I think, he's always made fun of for so long. It was stupid. It made me laugh. It's like blackouts in comedy. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Yes!
And then we moved along. And I said, great.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Sometimes you're going to do 1 or 2 long scenes in a row, and you need something there to just like be an amuse-bouche to pop the crowd and then, move on, right?
Exactly. The amuse-bouche. Yes. The only thing my only gripe, I was like, why is the Hurt Business out there? Why do they got the Hurt Business running around, man? Come on. Y'all just got back in the fold. Go stand with the guys.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so this 24/7 fracas inspired me to ask the question today, and it's inspired by our guest that was on the show on Friday, R-Truth. And by the way, are you jealous, EJ? Are you jealous that I got to talk to Ron Killings?
I saw. I'm not jealous. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll be okay.
I have some other Ron Killings news off the air I'll tell you about that I think you'll be tickled by. Maybe everybody will get to know about it down the road. Okay. Let's just say Me and Ron, we got along. It was good. I made a friend in Ron Killings. I'm happy about that. So anyway, so EJ, today's poll question: who's the greatest WWE 24/7 champion of all time? Is it Reggie, R-Truth, Drake Maverick, or somebody else? 200 votes. 77.7 R-Truth, 10.1 Reggie, 9.5 for Drake Maverick, and 2.8 for somebody else. I mean, is it R-Truth by a mile, or has Reggie won you over at this point?
Oh man, it's still R-Truth. He's put in a lot of work with it. He's done a lot of gimmicks and bits. I think if they give Reggie the same attention, and even when he's not, he's dressing up and chasing Reggie and jumping out of trash cans and stuff, man. Like, R-Truth is the 24/7 division.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet, and we'll see if Reggie can make it his division. You know, when he does that 200 spin over the top rope and lands on his feet on the outside, and I tweeted it earlier, but how fun is it going to be to watch him and Kofi Kingston try to not get eliminated in the Royal Rumble this year?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, you're on blast, Kofi Kingston. Know that Reggie's got your number right now.
Let's throw in Ricochet and John Morrison, too. Let's just let the four of them just do crazy stuff.
You're all going to be hanging by wires. And like,
dude, so make it Crouching Tiger. Just let them go.
Crouching Tiger, hidden 24/7 division. So EJ, this was a great show. Thank you for everybody who jumped in. I just am going to put Antonio Garcia up on the screen. Byron Saxton was the best. And Jonas Tiger saying Vince is going to Vince. Well, Vince is going to Vince, you know?
And that's what Vince's do.
We're going to Wrestling Inc. Daily because that's what we do. Come on back, EJ. I am thrilled tomorrow on the show. Great guest. I'm doing the interview tomorrow. It is with the one and only Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder. Great talk. We're going to be talking all about his work at GCW. We're going to be he reveals to me what he believes to be the low point in his WWE career and a lot of other things. So come back tomorrow. Me, Matt Cardona. Of course, the Daily is brought to you by WrestlingInc.com or all the socials. And, of course, the Wrestling Podcast goes live at night. It's a lot like this show. Same place, different time, different people. We got a show tonight after NXT and this Saturday after Full Gear. I will actually be in Minneapolis for AEW Full Gear this weekend. So stay tuned for a lot of coverage of that event, and we will have the scrums that I will be in streaming live on our various social media platforms. So be sure to check those out. EJ, anything you want to put over here before we wrap up the show today?
Oh, goodness, y'all. Keep being kind. Keep watching and listening. Thank you. I don't think I've ever stopped taking the time to say thank you to people. So thank you, everybody. This is super fun. Give me a follow. Normally I tell you to eat a bagel, but maybe you already had a bagel today. So eat a donut or a cookie.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah. Make whatever. I'm eating dirty rice today. I'm going full Bray Wyatt today. And if you don't know what dirty rice is, look it up. Go buy a box. It's $1.49. Throw a little ground beef in there. You will have lunch for 2 days.
It's tasty. 3. It's very tasty.
It is.
And get some kielbasa. Chop up some kielbasa in it. Kind of make it a little.
Different strokes, different folks. That's not my gimmick. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Well.
All right. And I don't know what Miguelo wanted to say, but dirty rice is bussin'. I don't know what
dirty rice is bussin'. It's bussin'. Hey, Nick, it's bussin'. You know what it means, and it's that.
I am at Nick_Hausman on Twitter. Thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.